Hey guys, you're watching the recap of Below Deck Mediterranean Episode 1 here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We got a lot to talk about, so stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Gotta love some Jimmy Buffett to kick off Below Deck Mediterranean.
I want to be on a boat right now.
You're telling me.
Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this amazing show. We got a lot planned for you. I'm your host, Jamie Banks, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JamieBanks_. And with me are my lovely co-hosts.
Hey, what's up? It's Angela Struck, and you can find me on Twitter at @TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram and Facebook at Angela Struck.
And I'm Madison Conklin. You can find me on Twitter at Maddie, 2Ds, IE says this. And then on Instagram at Conklin, CONKLYNN. I should probably keep those the same. Something simple, but that's where you guys
Whatever
can find
works
me.
for you.
Right?
So this season we are in the Mediterranean, which is really
Yes.
awesome. It's different than the Caribbean in the past.
Yes.
Ever since I saw Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, I've wanted to go to Greece. So I'm so jealous, especially Santorini and Mykonos.
I
can't
had so
wait.
many emotions come over me
Yeah.
because Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, literally, I was like, I've always loved Greece. Why do I love Greece? Or the Mediterranean, but they started in Greece today. But I was just
Probably.
like, there we go.
You
Sisterhood
guys,
of the
I've
Traveling
actually been.
You have?
Yes, I have, and it's fabulous, and I'm wanting to go back watching this show.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what were you guys' overall impressions of the show?
I think it's going to be a great season. I thought the characters, the crew is really great. I think they all have strong personalities. I think a lot of them are going to clash.
Yes.
A lot of them are going to hook up, and it's going to make for some great TV.
Yes, some good drama. I see some very headstrong people, but also people that are also wanting to prove themselves. So, again, with the clashing and everything, but yeah, there's definitely a lot more drama. And I mean, just from this first, do you call them not crew, but the people that were on the boat had very high expectations. The charters.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
High expectations, and it gave me anxiety. I was like, are they going to make the dinner? Like, are they going to do? So, yes, I think it's going to be great.
Ben was kind of saying, too, it seems like the ante has been raised. You know, the Mediterranean has higher expectations than the Caribbean. So I think the bar is set really high for them, and I think they're going to have to deliver.
Definitely. So it's pretty much a new, fresh cast with the exception of Ben. I'd love it if we could talk about all the characters and what you guys think, or the cast members. So let's start with Ben.
Oh, you have to love Ben. I mean, he's a cartoon character. He's great. The things that come out of his mouth are just like so entertaining to watch, and he, melts at the sight of any gorgeous woman. So it's just hilarious.
Like, going off of the whole, he, kind of says whatever comes to his mind. He got on the boat and like went through one pantry, was like, like you just got on the boat, like, give it a chance, And then he opened another drawer or something, and he was like, it's like, all right. So he is very particular about his kitchen. And if it's not going his way, And Hannah, I believe, said, he's not wrong. He's never wrong. And that was just after the first episode. You're like, I kind of see that he's like, well, I'm right, you're wrong, you messed up, so you have to fix it. It's like, takes two to tango, bud.
Yeah.
Takes two to tango.
I mean, in Below Deck, we've always seen the chefs are very particular.
Yes.
I mean, that is their territory, and they don't want anybody screwing around with them or any of their, tools and everything.
That's very true, and I feel like that in the real world, too, because I've worked in a few kitchens, and it's like, get the heck out of the way if they're coming through. You just slide.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah, he's very particular, and I think he's definitely a ladies' man. Already, a few of the girls already kind of have their eye on him, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
You can't resist that little giggle he has.
I don't know.
Accent,
baby.
his cheekiness, if you will. I know that's a term, cheeky.
He definitely has the charisma, that's for sure.
Yes.
The guy that I think is kind of attractive is Bobby. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Hannah was loving him already, so
he's just tall, handsome, like tall, dark, handsome, muscles. He's got that tattoo, so it's like bad boy, wild side. But then he's like, all right, professional. He's got his stuff together.
He had some cool style too. I liked that blue shirt with the sailboats or something. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, when
in
he
the
first got on the
opening scene,
boat.
he looked really good.
Absolutely.
I liked his haircut. He looked nice.
Yeah.
All the guys I thought were pretty cute.
Yeah,
So
I liked how Bobby said that he was like nerdy. Obviously, it's the first episode, so we haven't seen that yet, but I'm kind of finding that hard to believe.
Yeah,
like, you're
I
the
can't
frat
see
star.
it,
You're the
no.
frat bro. Like, you want the girls fawning over you and like, oh my God, Bobby.
And
you
his
know?
definition of being nerdy was like he listens to 80s music, which I don't think that's
Which-
actually
nerdy.
the coolest thing
I
ever.
do every day. I love 80s music.
Yeah.
We'll see. What do you think about Danny?
Danny, you know, I need to see more of him. I actually kind of really liked that he stood up to Jen and, you know, said the truth to Brian, his superior, because it's a long trip they've got ahead of them, a long journey. And to start it off by lying, I don't think is really the best tone to set. So I liked him. I think he's a hard worker. He seems sweet, and he seems like he's got a good attitude.
Yeah. Okay, so first impression I got from Danny was frat star. Now that's
Frat
obvious.
star.
Yeah, he was just
so
kind of like,
funny. I
all
feel
right,
like
let's go, let's do
nerdy.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so now that the episode went on, I kind of feel like he's like the little brother that wants to be there and wants to help out, you know,
Yeah.
get dirty with everything, and he's just really excited to try everything, but you know, you like the cute little brother, you just want to pinch his cheeks, you know, and I think we're going to see, he's going to be like an onion, it's just layers unfold, and we're
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, he's so like this, he's so like that, you know, but
That's
I think
good, I
he's
like that,
very
yeah.
cute, very sweet, harmless, but as we saw from what's coming up this season, maybe not
Yeah.
so harmless.
Yeah.
I think he's really eager too because he's only been in the yacht business for 6 months, which really he's such a noob compared to all the others.
Exactly.
So it's probably really exciting and fun for him.
Yeah.
For the others, some of them they've kind of lost that excitement.
Yes.
Right, and that's where I got the whole like little brother, like let's do
Yeah,
this, you know,
A little
oh,
green.
let's
He
go.
seems
Yeah.
a little green and excited.
Naive.
And, yeah.
And maybe he will be naive. We see, we don't want to go too far ahead, but in the future episodes, he seems like he doesn't know too much about the business when he gets involved with that girl.
Yes.
So it seems like
Yes.
he is kind of like, he needs to respect the rules a little
And that's
bit,
rule
too.
number 1. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how they handle that.
So the captain, Captain Mark Howard, he's a little bit different than Captain Lee.
Yeah, definitely a little bit different. I kind of got the feel, his voice reminded me of J.K. Simmons, the actor, you know? And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, he is the captain. He's very in charge. Like, this is what's going to happen, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, is it J.K. Simmons from Whiplash? I'm
Right, I
like,
was just gonna say.
But he hasn't yelled yet, and he hasn't lost his cool. But I could definitely see it building to that point if he's disrespected enough or things don't go as he's wanting them, because he's been in it for how many years? 30 plus years, I think he said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get the J.K. Simmons vibe, like the cool guy, but
see
then
that.
it could be really scary if you piss him off.
Yeah, I mean, I think Captain Lee, from the second his crew gets on the boat, they know not to mess with him. And I didn't get that vibe with Mark as much. I kind of thought that he was a sweet teddy bear. But I agree. I think what we're going to see is if they act out of line, I think he's going to come down hard on them. But he didn't have the plane tickets already to send them home like
Right.
Captain Lee does.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But actually, they showed during the commercials that Captain Lee will be back next season in the fall
Hey, that's
for season
awesome.
3. So I'm excited about that because
Definitely.
So wait,
Love
does
him.
that mean like Captain Mark didn't cut it?
No,
Do you
so-
hear
no,
this
for regular,
for regular.
Caribbean
Okay, I was
below
like,
deck.
Yeah, so
hold
right
up.
now, Below Deck Mediterranean is like a complete spin-off.
Right.
So
Like
Real
maybe-
Housewives of
Yeah.
New York versus Beverly
Exactly.
Hills.
So maybe we can
different.
watch 2 next year.
Yes.
You know, if
Exactly.
it keeps going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I was like, no,
Yeah.
wait, we can't give
Yeah,
him a
yeah.
chance, people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about the girls. What about Tiffany?
You know, honestly,
Tiffany.
I thought she had a really sour attitude. It's like, why? I actually totally agreed with what Hannah said, I think it was, who said, why would you take a position that you don't want to do?
Yeah.
And from the first moment, she's saying, I'm a scientist, I'm above this, I want to be outdoors, I can't believe I had to clean. And it's like, I really think, well, what are you doing here? You know what a stew job is.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. But when she said that, I was like, that is such a real question I feel like everyone has day to day if they're not happy in their job. Like, I've got this degree. Why am I stuck inside when I should be outside or whatever? So I felt bad for her in that sense. You're right. She didn't know what she was getting into. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of her yet. I think she's going to get in trouble a lot.
I do too. I think she and Hannah are
going
gonna
to
clash.
totally. I
Yeah.
mean, she went to bed before everyone else.
Yeah, what's up with that?
That's
I mean,
giving up. That's
you don't
giving up way
text
too
your
soon.
boss or
Yeah.
you know, hey, I'm checking out 5 minutes after, you
10
know, the
o'clock.
bell rings.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, you should wait till you're dismissed.
yeah, and it's the first charter. I mean, you can try and make an effort and put out an extra hour or so. And in
Right.
fact, the deckhands were in there cleaning dishes and things. You know, you chip in, you
that
help
shows
out.
That already knocks
So,
her down a couple.
I don't like
demerits,
that.
Or gives her a couple.
I think she should have applied for deckhand if that's what she wanted to do. You kind of know the responsibilities before you
Right.
apply.
Right.
But could you imagine Jen inside
True.
and not outside? I
No.
mean, she's again.
Although maybe she'd want to be inside with all the ladies.
That's true.
Yeah.
She tends
For
to.
She
a
swims in the lady pond.
A straight girl might like want to be with the guys, but
Right.
Jen would want to be with the girls.
Right, but,
Yeah.
but Jen seemed like a tomboy to me from the
Yeah.
get-go.
Oh,
Before we
totally.
knew anything about
Yeah.
her, she was like, yeah, I'm going to be on the like I done this and that. And in every shot they showed her like pulling something or putting in, some muscle. So I was like, all right, tomboy, cool. She's going to get along great with the guys. Maybe she's going to clash with the girls that are, a little more, I don't
Girly.
know. Girly, thank
Yeah,
you.
but she loves it.
But yeah,
I loved
of
that
course.
that she was into Hannah because she's J-Law with a bigger butt and
Yes.
bigger boobs.
Oh my
That's
god.
a compliment.
funny.
They
I
really
mean,
did look alike. I
they
was like,
did.
okay.
When
Side
she
by
said
side,
that,
I could see it.
Yeah, I guess so.
when she
maybe.
said that, I kept being like, "Oh my gosh, it's Jennifer Lawrence."
Yeah.
You know, it was funny, but yeah,
I think there's a lot of like resentment from the boys, or maybe it's like a subconscious thing, but I think they don't respect her in the same way.
That's what she said.
And yeah, she definitely pointed that out, and you can totally see that. I mean, girls, you want to be delicate, and it's like, you know what? Give me a shot before anyone else, and I'll prove to you, But don't keep me, in the background.
But to play devil's advocate, she showed up an hour late the first morning of work. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like if you
Okay.
want, when you're in
Yeah,
that position
but-
and you feel like people are writing you or not giving you a fair shot, then go above and
Yeah,
beyond and show them
seriously.
this is how good I am. And instead, she showed up 45 minutes late and then asked her coworker to lie about it.
That's true, but okay, I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate. She doesn't take anyone's bull crap, you
Yes,
know? Like she's,
that's for sure.
You know what? If you're not gonna give me the job to do, then I'm gonna sleep in. And if you get pissed at me, so what?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Throw me
Yeah.
overboard?
Fire,
Yeah.
fire her eventually.
Yeah.
I guess fire. Yeah,
she is the
but-
best, so I don't think she's gonna actually get fired. But still, she should be on time.
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
least a little bit more on time.
Yeah.
30
than 40
minutes late.
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes
Yeah.
late,
Yeah.
definitely.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about Hannah.
Yeah.
Headstrong Hannah. Headstrong Hannah.
I like
she is very, to me, intimidating. People got on the bus. She's like, "Hi, okay, so this is what you're going to be doing. So let's get to it now." Which I totally get. That's her job. She's pretty much the face of the crew and the boat. But I think she's a little saucy, a little, she's intense for sure, but just strict. Like, take it back a notch. Like, bring it back.
Every
Be
season the
personable.
chief stews are pretty
that's how they got
aggressive,
the
strong.
position,
Exactly.
right?
They
And
have
then
to have to assert themselves or else they get walked all over.
Yeah.
She actually reminded me a lot of Kate from
yes.
previous seasons.
They look the same too.
Yeah, a little bit. I
mean, both blonde.
Yes, yeah. Both pretty and blonde,
Yeah.
yes. But she kind of reminded me of her, and I think she's going to do a really good job. I think she took control from day one, and she's getting the job done. I think Captain's going to like her and respect her for that. The one thing I think will be interesting to see is what happens between her and Ben.
Yeah.
Because you could already see tension there.
There was
Definitely.
like, okay.
But I feel like it was a flirty tension more than like an physically attracted. It was
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
like we connect sort of thing.
But he was not happy at her description of his
yeah, we'll
moussaka.
get into that in the recap. But yeah.
Yeah.
And so Tiffany.
We
Tiffany.
touched on her, I
We
think.
touched on her.
Oh, we already touched on her.
I think
touched-
the next one is Julia.
Julia.
Cute little British. She's my favorite.
She's so cute.
I love her off the bat. She's so bubbly and just everything about her is so cute. She's just, oh, okay, I'm here to help. Like, when I get stressed, I've done acrobatics for 7 years, so I know to keep it really tight and locked in. But she's just like so bubbly, and I feel like if anything, she does have a boyfriend. She made that very clear.
Yes.
I don't think that boyfriend's gonna be hanging around for much longer after the season goes on. But I think she's gonna be the nice girl that causes all the drama.
Yeah, and she's beautiful too.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby called her the unicorn. I loved that. Blue eyes with dark hair. That was cool. But I thought she seems really sweet, has great energy. I think she's going to be kind of everybody's best friend on the boat. And but I do think every guy is going to want to go for her because she's stunning.
Do you think she'll be the backstabbing friend of everyone?
I don't think she's capable of that. She seemed to me like she's actually a nice person. I mean, we'll see. To me, I got that vibe more from Tiffany and potentially Jen.
Okay.
But I thought the way that Julia was speaking to Hannah and showing her deference and really sweet. I think she's the real deal.
Yeah, Julia seems genuine to me.
Me too.
But we'll see how that plays out. And I think the only one we forgot was Brian, correct?
Yes, Brian. The new Eddie.
Yes, the new Eddie.
I thought he was great. I think he is stepping up to his new position as first mate really well. I think he's getting everybody in line, and he's cute too.
Yeah,
I think he's cute.
Easy to look at.
Yeah.
You know, it's yes, he's definitely in control and wants to prove himself to the captain because the captain kind of expected a lot, but he kind of boosted his ego when he got on board, I think. And so I feel like that could play into it. Brian might be a little pompous, if you will, at times, and just kind of like, well, I'm next in charge, so you listen to me, and this is what you need to do, you know, underneath Captain Mark. So, I don't know. I wasn't really drawn to him. And I was kind of hoping I would. He's that blonde, you know, cute, strong jawline.
I think I know what you mean. He seems a little bro-y, and he seems like he's definitely going to stick with the guys and bros before hoes kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's kind of endearing at the same time, I found.
Bro-y, but a little if his bros, his friends, you know, are messing around and they're caught or something, he'd be like, dude, it was him. He wasn't, you know, he would throw people under the bus, but still try to be cool and, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of think so too, especially because he is the one in charge. I feel like he wants to impress the captain, so I feel like even if he did mess up, he's gonna just blame it on someone under him because he can really.
He can get away with it, and I think he's gonna use that and abuse that, and people are gonna maybe retaliate.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I could see that.
Possibly.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of stubborn personalities on this boat already. Almost everyone is stubborn.
Besides
no one's
Julia
passive.
and Danny, besides Julia and Danny, everyone's just this is what I'm gonna say, and this is what it's gonna mean.
And my way
Bobby.
or the highway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
I definitely agree with that.
So definitely an interesting cast. It's going to be a great season, I think. Now let's get into some of the nuts and bolts and the recap of the episode. So first, we kind of talked about the cast. They all arrive. And then Captain tells Hannah that they're going to start tomorrow, and they only have 24 hours to prepare. And she says that normally it takes a month to prepare.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Who sorted that out?
Right?
I mean, give the girl the time to get things right. But she stepped up.
She, you know, it puts her under pressure right off the bat. Then the captain knows kind of what to expect from her and where to set his standards, I guess. But yeah, I think I would drop dead. I'd be like, I'm going home. Sorry, Mediterranean's not for me this time.
I did think it was nice how Jen stepped up and was like, I'll help in you know, help the stews out, dust, whatever, get the job done, team spirit. I liked that.
Yeah, I think that was really sweet. And
Yeah.
they are all on the same team.
Right.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And then, so Julia and some of the others say it's kind of a hideous boat. What do you guys think of the decorations?
Oh my gosh.
I imagined my first Carnival cruise. It was a little gaudy.
Do you know all I kept thinking is that this boat was designed for the Shaws of Sunset. It was literally gold everywhere.
And then the gold swan that had the water coming out.
Faucet. I was like, that faucet though. What is that?
Swan, yeah.
Well, they paid a lot of money for it, so I guess they want to show them.
I mean, it's
Straight out of Scarface. It's a Scarface boat
There we
too.
go. Although if I were to get on it, I'd be in awe.
Of course. I mean, we all would love it. We all would love it. But it's just, it is, I know
One
where
of
they're
these days, I'll be on a yacht.
Yeah, it's
Hopefully
not.
soon.
It's not very modern and chic.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
It's gaudy.
Yeah. So Hannah is attracted to Bobby right away. What do you guys think about this?
I mean, kind of gotta Yeah, I mean, Hannah and Bobby, for sure. They're both very attractive, and I mean, I think they're going to hit it off, and it's going to be great. But like we said, Julia might be the one to maybe mix in there a little bit,
Yeah. I mean, Hannah really seemed like she was ready to go for Bobby. So I think definitely something's going to happen there. It'll be interesting to see, though.
I feel like Bobby's going to be like literally the combination of Mike, Pauly D, and Vinny from Jersey Shore. Not Ronnie, but like that whole mixture.
He's got some Guido to him.
Guido,
yes.
but like let's chase after the girls, but I'm not going to keep myself single or, exclusive, I should say, not single. He's going to keep himself single. He's not going to go exclusive.
Yes, he's going to go for it, but he's not looking for girlfriend material.
What are you thinking about that pair?
I feel like Hannah's just going to go for Ben. I think it was just an initial attraction to Bobby, but I think she's going to connect more with Ben.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But we will see. Personally, I would go with Bobby, as I already mentioned.
Yeah, of course.
And so then the captain throws a meeting for everyone, and
Right.
already you can kind of see how strict he is, and this is where the group kind of decides their first impressions of him.
Wait, the best thing of the whole episode, in my opinion, was when the captain said, "And here are the Greek seamen," and they all kind of giggled.
Julia laughed out loud. I was like, that is why I connect with you. I've got that immaturity.
Yeah, you gotta love that 5th grade humor.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was funny. I thought he did a good job kind of getting everybody in line. I see what Ben was saying, that he's kind of quirky and a little goofy, I guess, but he seems nice. He seems sweet, and
He's the eldest. He's in charge, so he's like, you know what? If anything, I'm gonna know better than anyone when things, stuff hits the fan, like what we're gonna do. So this is the protocol. So let's get it done out of the way first and whatnot. But I kind of noticed we didn't see much of Captain Mark in the first episode. Like, we would see him, but he, obviously wasn't one of the main people we were focusing on. I get that, because he's probably not going to be hooking up with people and
the captain's
drinking
not
out of the
hang out
bottle,
as much. Yeah,
yeah, because he's got the whole yacht to take care of. But I don't know. I kind of hope we see like a more fun side of him. That spunky, quirky, but not like business quirky. Like, okay, I can throw back a couple drinks with the
I
kiddos.
hope so.
Yeah.
He seems like he could be relaxed too.
Yeah,
like he's
definitely more than
nice.
Captain Lee.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So then all of them kind of have meetings. The stewardesses have a meeting, and already it seems like Hannah does not like Tiffany. And this is very apparent. She seems like she's lazy.
Yeah, and I thought Hannah judged right off the bat. Like, of course, you're always taught, don't judge a book by its cover. Kind of open the pages, read it, see what you think. And that, again, for me, put a sour taste in my mouth with Hannah, even though I thought she was really funny because she drops the F-bomb every other word. I'm like, this girl, like, okay, get your stuff together. But, yeah, I didn't like the fact that she passed judgment so quickly. But then again, Tiffany did go to bed early, so it kind of gave you reason to be like, all right, I get why you don't.
But that was after the fact.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah.
I think when you have worked in a position such as Chief Stew for that long of period and experienced that many crews, you kind of can assess people pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that she just read her immediately. For her to open up and say, well, I'm not very detail oriented, that's basically her saying, I'm not going to follow your directions exactly. And that's just me excusing it right now. And I thought, it's like, you don't say that to your boss on day one. You try and come in with a good attitude.
Tiffany missed like how to deal with your boss 101.
Or she just doesn't care.
That's true too. But I also think Hannah is very, again, I keep using headstrong, but she is maybe headstrong, stubborn, and passes judgment so quickly because she had judgment passed on her. She was a high school dropout and had to prove
She's had
to
to work
everyone.
her way up.
Exactly. So she's always been, prove. Like, I can do this, I can do this. So maybe that's why she's the way she is right now, you know?
Yeah, that's a really great point. She definitely had to work her way up and prove that she could do it.
And I respect that. So
definitely, I respect that as well.
Yeah.
So then Jen offers to dust the house because she has a crush on Hannah.
She wants to be near Hannah.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
So is that one gonna go down? What do you guys think?
Maybe.
If there's enough,
what do they drink it in the Mediterranean that gets? It's not tequila because that's Mexico.
It's that licorice, like
some sort of
white.
wine,
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
What is it? Lemon. I want to say rum chata, but it's not. It's like
It's like a licorice tasting. I know it's like a Greek drink.
Something where they say opa and break it.
Break plate.
I think if enough of that is consumed, possibly, or plot twist, if Hannah's trying to get back at one of the guys, either Bobby or Ben, I don't know. You know,
It's a great way to make a guy interested in you.
So
Girl on girl
interesting.
action.
Yeah, and she opens up to Jen about this, which is cool.
Julia.
Julia,
yeah.
there's a lot of people, and it was the first episode.
There are so many
I know.
names.
There's
I
two
have
J names.
Their
you know.
name, like I have their image in my head. I just can't remember the name
Right,
every
right,
time.
right.
And Julia mixed up. I was like, wait, which one am
I agree. Well, they're both
looking
brunette, and they both are the Stews, so
very
it's
cute,
kind of
tiny
We'll,
Yeah.
we'll get
But
it
yeah.
by episode 2.
Yes.
Exactly. We're going to have this down for you guys.
It was also funny because Jen said the guys have no chance. Half of us are gay or half of us are taken. I thought that was hilarious.
That
She's got a sense of humor for sure.
Yeah.
I think she can hang with the best of them.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, any situation she's kind of put in, she can hang.
Yeah.
So the new guests are coming, and the captain kind of gives them the lowdown. And Christine is one of the guests, and she's absolutely gorgeous.
Stunning.
And she has a skincare line. I didn't really understand. Did you guys get that?
Yeah, I think she's kind of like a fitness guru, and she has different skincare products, and I think this was a great way for her to kind of talk about them and make desserts out of her different
Exactly.
flavored creams.
Yeah.
I think her husband's going to be the pain in the backside.
Those Pittsburgh Steeler fans.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they're
Sorry,
really into
any of you
it.
Pittsburgh Steelers. No, I thought she was very cute. She was so thankful and just appreciative of everything, you know. And like I said, her husband, I think, is just going to throw a wrench in everything, kind of make it bad. But she
Yeah.
kind of didn't even notice.
I
She was like,
mean,
oh, it's okay.
if you're a football fan that's never missed a Steelers game in your life, it's like, why are you going on a yacht when a big game's
Yeah, why are you
coming
doing
up?
it halfway across
I guess
the
he
world?
thought that it'd be possible to
Yeah.
watch it, but
I
who
still
knows?
think Hannah's going to pull it off.
Yeah.
I think she is.
And that again, I keep saying I got anxiety, but to have that task handed to me halfway across the world when no one really speaks English, she was, you know, looking around for the nearest sports bar, and they're like, "Oh, you go this way," and she's like, "Okay, that's not the way you go," and then
Yeah.
just all over the place. I think I would be like, "I'm sorry, you're not getting your Steelers,"
Yeah.
and I guess I'm out of a job. But
Yeah.
I can't. I
Well,
give up easily.
if she doesn't pull it off, the whole crew's going to look at her when they get a lackluster tip. So I think
I
she's
know.
really feeling the pressure to deliver, and I get that.
And that was the softer side of her we saw.
Yeah.
She was like, and if this doesn't happen, then my whole crew suffers. And it was like, okay, she definitely knows there's going to be a sense of family. She doesn't want to cross the family in any way. You know, she's kind of like, do you think she's like the mother figure almost?
Yeah, I was just
She's
going to
the
say,
oldest
I
of
mean,
the
Kate was actually
girls.
pretty similar too in the Caribbean. She would be really stern, but then she had a soft, loving side and was really caring and would be the first one to kind of come through when you needed her most. So
Okay.
it's kind of similar, I think. I think she does have that motherly,
Touch, feel, kind
maternal nature.
of. Exactly, there you go.
Yeah,
Great
Definitely.
word.
So then the boys are having this chat about who they think is cute, and Bobby says he's into Julia, who's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Can you guys see anything developing there?
Yes, 100%. I think things are gonna get steamy between them by next Tuesday when it comes back on.
Episode 2.
Yeah, because you gotta keep your viewers, you know, enthused and enthralled and kind of wrapped in. So they're gonna be like, oh, this is the episode where they go party. Now, I don't know that for sure, but they're gonna have to throw a little bit of fun for the crew in there just so you're like, I want to see something happen. Like, who's gonna be which way when they're drunk, or who's gonna hook up, or, you know.
You know, we never
think
thought Eddie would ever cheat on his girlfriend. They were so serious, and then it happened on season 2. And I just think that these boats are like that camp mentality, those
Oh,
movie-making
100%,
mentality when they get on
yes.
these sets for months at a time, and it just happens. You know, you get bored, you get comfortable,
natural.
you get flirty, and yeah.
And you're in Greece. It's beautiful. There's alcohol there, but I don't know if you're not single, you should definitely know that maybe you should kind of figure out things where you stand with your boyfriend before you go,
Yeah.
or just kind of know how serious you guys are before you get into the situation.
Yeah, I did think it was interesting that she immediately was like, "Yes, I have a boyfriend. I'm taken," and she
Yeah.
kind of implied like,
And
"We're
she's
serious."
the only one, I guess, because she's the only one that put it out there anyways as of
Yeah.
now. So, yeah.
Yeah, she did mention that none of the guys were her type.
Right.
Who knows what her type actually is, or if she's just saying that.
That's a cop out.
I just want
There's
to
some
say,
cute guys of all types on that boat.
and we're going to go personal for a minute. When I studied abroad, there was this girl that had a very serious boyfriend over in the UK, which is where she's from. She gets to Australia. She meets a guy literally that looks like Bobby, that tall, handsome, had a tattoo. I'm just going to say her and the boyfriend broke up. The Australian started dating, and then when she left, she got back together with her boyfriend. So that could happen.
Oh.
So basically, she got best of both worlds.
She really did. And I was so jealous, but that's neither here nor there.
So Julia, heed that advice.
Yeah, maybe everything will work out for her.
Yeah.
Who knows? So it's dinner time, and there's a lot of pressure on this dinner because these people have paid so much money, and they have such high expectations because it is the Mediterranean. So already,
And they're kind of health nuts, too.
yes, and they're
They're particular.
Health-conscious, yeah.
So Hannah is ordering Ben and who is it? Ben and Julia to do something, and they're goofing off, and they're not paying attention.
Totally missed
and so
the
she
walkie
comes back
talkie.
and she's so mad.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's the first night. You know, I do think
100%.
she shouldn't be too tough on people. Nothing had happened yet. The guests weren't upset. She was on it with the wine. They said they wanted something to drink. She got it.
Right.
That was handled. I think that was a bit of an overreaction on her part.
Yeah. But like we've been saying, you know, she's always had to prove, and you know, it's the first night. You know, you don't want to keep them waiting. You want to give them the best service. So if there is a slip up, they're like, gosh, they've been so great the first couple days, like totally fine, you know. But the first night, first impression, you can't be behind your game. And I totally get. I kind of felt it wasn't like we were saying physical tension, like flirty. It was like the fun kind of flirty. They were just trying to get to know each other, which totally I think is okay. But yeah. First night, and it's his kitchen. Like, he's in charge. It's his show now.
Right.
It's not Hannah's. It's his show. It's his food.
Right, but they
Ben's,
do
by the
work
way.
in tandem, you know, because she's in the front of the house and he's in the kitchen. So, you know, she kind of looks stupid if she doesn't know what's going on, and if the food's late, and people will blame her.
Which
so
she didn't know what the main dish was, and I thought that was pretty
Yeah, so the appetizer was a success. But
Yeah, the
then
saganaki.
The second one, the Greek dish, what was it called? Moussaka or something? I'm sorry,
moussaka.
I'm butchering it. But
Yeah,
apparently
moussaka.
it's a really delicious Greek dish.
Oh, and I just thought of that alcohol. It's ouzo is what it's called.
that's what it is.
Ouzo. We should get little water things and cheers.
cheers.
Ouzo.
So yeah, Hannah should know the name of the dish, and she should know exactly what's in it, and have a good sort of advertisement for it. But instead, she's just like, oh, it's some vegetables and some cheese.
She
said the wrong meat.
Yeah, she totally.
Yeah, she said beef instead of lamb.
Yeah.
Like, even I know, and I worked as a hostess, and I'd be like, okay, I don't want to look like an idiot in front of these people. I'm going to know exactly what they're eating, and I'll make sure I've tasted it. Just like, it is amazing, you know?
She could have ran back and asked. I mean, I feel like that would have been better to deliver the correct answer instead of saying, oh, this
The wrong
wrong
thing.
thing. Because already they kind of had a weird impression about the food, so when they didn't like it, they're like, this is terrible. And so they already hated it.
Right.
And you eat with all of your senses. So to hear something described in kind of a bland way, it does take away from your experience. But she kind of totally blamed him for the dinner going wrong. And I think she's right in that sense. They said that they were really turned off by it being oily and heavy, and I agree. And he was kind of saying, well, it's moussaka and it's grease. In my opinion, Greek food is also a lovely grilled fish,
very
kebabs,
light. I think light when I think
salads,
Greek,
vegetables.
Maybe a euro.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely. I thought that was a cop out on his part. I think that there were a lot of delicious, healthy Greek dish options, and moussaka seemed very heavy.
Yeah.
True.
And,
So-
and I think it goes back to Ben's, you know, it's not my fault, it's your problem attitude, because you're the one that served it. Like, who cares if I prepared it? You're the one that served it. You know, so his kind of, not me, it's you. It's you.
Right,
it's you,
right.
You know?
Yeah, he definitely didn't
His
take
attitude.
any responsibility for that, and it would have been better if he was like, yeah, sorry, we'll work on it for the future, instead of, it's your fault.
Right.
Also, who didn't take responsibility was Jen for oversleeping. We kind of touched on this a little bit before, but kind of what do you guys think about not only this, but how she reacted to the situation?
I think, poor sport.
Yeah.
You woke up late. Own up to your mistake. Don't try to get someone to be the scapegoat and say, oh, yeah, she was up there on time, then they get grilled. Well, why wasn't everything done, you know?
Yeah.
You don't know these people.
Yeah, I felt bad for him. I mean, in my opinion, Danny was trying to do a good job. He was up early. He was at it. He was working for two people. He's doing the work of two people. And then he got scolded. And I think that's really unfair. I mean, I would want to speak up and say, well, listen, I have been working because, you know, he doesn't, you heard in the interview, in Brian's interview, he said, I've got this crew that's kind of not doing the best job. When I was in their shoes, I was really, and it's like Danny is trying.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he was like, I didn't tell on you, but I didn't lie. You know, and again, I'm going back
he
to like
handled
his
that well.
naiveness.
Yeah.
He's just like that innocent little brother that I didn't lie, but I didn't tell you the full truth either. So it's
Yeah,
you know,
I liked it. He didn't want to tattle.
Yeah,
But he
exactly.
also, if he's asked directly about something, he's going to answer honestly.
Yeah.
And I respected that.
Yeah, I thought that was sweet. I hope he can prove himself in the next episode because I really do like him.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll kind of see how that plays out.
Well,
Yeah.
and I kind of feel that there might be a bromance brewing between him and Bobby, Danny and Bobby. But then again, it could be Brian and Bobby.
I got the
you
Brian
know?
and
so I feel
Bobby.
like Bobby's going to be like the tip of the triangle.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be competing for his attention. But like for the bromance,
Yeah.
you know, type things.
Definitely.
I feel like Ben's just going to stay in the kitchen and kind of be Ben and just
Beat to his own drum, or march to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah.
So there is an order of command on the boat. Do you feel like it plays out socially as well? Or in past seasons of Below Deck?
I think that it definitely plays a role. You know, there's a definite sense between you're my superior and you're my equal or my colleague, I guess. I don't know. I think that there is, but also once they're out, you know, when they get off the boat and they're out drinking, I think all that kind of goes out the window and their true selves.
Yeah,
And
I always had a question about the drinking because I know that they're not allowed to drink on the boat, but is that just they're not allowed while they're
on
working?
charter.
So okay, so
When
they
they're
drink
on
the
charter, they
island.
can't drink. Or at least in previous seasons, I didn't hear it. Did Captain Mark
No,
talk
but
about that as much?
No, I didn't hear it this season. But
Yeah.
in the past, I was always confused about that.
When they're on charter, they can't. But then once they're off, and you know, Captain Lee would say, "Have the night and have at it," and they
it.
could
So-
drink and party.
And sorry, I'm a little ignorant here, but on charter means like on the boat
When
in
the
general,
guests
or just
are
when
there.
the guests are there.
What charter means? Yeah, when the guests are there,
Okay.
they can't.
In case anyone else didn't know.
Yes,
That's what
yes.
on charter means.
Great.
So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts in general about the recap portion?
Gosh, there was so many good
me a
moments.
second
I was
here.
really, you know, I just love. I love the scene when Ben was describing the menu to Christine in her bikini, and his eyes, he was just like trying not to stare at
Oh,
her.
yeah, totally.
But he just can't help himself. I mean, he is just a dog.
Christine is awesome. I mean, what an amazing woman because she like has this business of her own. She has a supportive family, and
Yeah.
clearly, you know, wealth isn't everything, but it's nice to have that.
And she's gorgeous.
And it's funny that everyone on their little sheet about their food preferences all put whatever Christine wants. So I was like,
Right.
okay, you go, girl. That's cool.
And off of that, I was like, oh, maybe she's very particular.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
if this isn't done the correct way, we're leaving. But she was like, oh yeah, give me this. I'll
Yeah.
try anything. If the chef likes it, I'll eat it. You know, I
Yeah.
really liked that about her.
She wasn't snooty about her eating habits, whereas some,
Which
you
you
know,
think a fitness
health
guru is gonna be
conscious
like.
people are. Yeah, but she was down for whatever. But I definitely, if I had a friend that looked like that, I would eat whatever she ate too.
I mean, summer is right. It's summertime,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh yeah, I got like 2 more months, right?
Yeah.
just copy her diet,
Yes,
her workout
please
plan,
tell
everything.
me, what are you eating? What are you
Exactly.
doing?
Please.
Yeah,
What are you
well-
not eating?
Yeah.
Pizza. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Pasta. Yeah. Okay. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
she
eating.
said she was gluten free, right?
Yeah,
I definitely
yeah.
eat a lot of
see,
gluten.
Okay, 'cause
Yeah.
when she said that, but then Ben said like, "Oh well, I'm gonna make it the Greek way with gluten." She was totally on board, but I was confused. I'm like, "But don't you get sick if
Yeah.
you know you don't feel well if you eat gluten?"
Maybe
Some
she
people,
chooses
yeah,
to.
some people
Yeah.
have a
Okay.
gluten intolerance, but some just don't eat it for
health
dietary,
reasons,
you know, like
reasons.
or for weight loss. I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, so do you guys have any news or gossip about Below Deck?
Well, it's the fact that Captain Lee is coming back is exciting.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
And that season will air in the fall, correct?
Right.
Season 4,
Yeah,
back in
yeah.
the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's already passed. It actually stopped at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time today. But there is a sweepstakes going on, and you had either tweet or Instagram your dream vacation, the dream location you'd want to go.
Ooh.
And I entered. I think I said something along the lines of the Maldives is where my dream vacation is. I would slay there and like totally turn up with the boat people or something.
I love it.
The overwater cabanas, bungalows.
Yeah.
And then you had to tag hashtag below deck Mediterranean. So if you win, and literally it's only one winner, I believe.
Take us with you.
Exactly. Right? You get $10,000 to spend it as you will, and go on this dream vacation. So that was happening, leading up, kind of building the hype for this show, and it
Interesting.
That's
closed.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think I would
So-
choose the Mediterranean. I would choose Santorini, probably.
Yeah,
So I'm
Santorini,
so
yeah.
jealous that
Yeah.
they get to go. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Looks gorgeous, yeah.
So now is one of the best parts of the show. Let's share our predictions.
So my prediction.
AfterBuzz TV.
There we go. Coming at you. Okay, you were starting, so go ahead.
I'm predicting that Hannah and Bobby are going to get hot and heavy.
Hannah and Bobby.
Yes.
Hannah,
I
okay.
think
Should
that
we
she
write
already
these
You don't think
down? Should we write
Hannah
these
and
down?
Ben?
No, I really don't. I think they're going to
Sure.
clash because I think they're just like, in each other's faces for work. There are two cooks in the kitchen. It's too many. I think that Bobby, Hannah had her eye on him from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think she's a woman who gets what she wants.
So you said Hannah and Bobby, right?
Yeah.
I want to keep track of these to see
Yeah,
what
please
comes
do.
true
Yeah.
throughout the
We
season.
should make bets.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't got that. What are we betting? Let's see.
Shots of ouzo.
Shots of Uzo, or if I win, I'll slowly bet away my money for my dream vacation. I would do that for you guys. Okay, so Hannah and Bobby hooking up.
I think so.
Okay. I think, let me see, I wrote it down just so I've got it. My prediction is Brian and Jen, I think, are going to definitely clash and fight sooner rather than later.
For sure.
Because as we know, she was late to get to work, and she just kind of had that I don't give a attitude,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're definitely going to butt heads, and it's not going to be pretty.
I think you're right.
It might even kind of divide the team a little bit. So we'll see. That's my prediction.
I think Jen and Danny are going to get into a big fight just because of the whole lateness thing. I feel like that kind of started it. So maybe if something happens in the next episode, they'll be like mad at each other, or maybe Jen could be mad at the other boys because she's clearly better than them.
Yeah.
If she can wake up on time.
Right.
Wow.
So
no
there
love
could
for
be
Jen.
some tension there.
Yeah.
That'll
Yeah.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys think, can you, first, just for the whole season, do you think any of the girls will end up making out with Jen?
Oh, for sure. For sure. Come on.
I think Julia will give her a kiss just for fun.
Okay.
Because I think Julia seems playful and sweet, and I think she'll mess around. Nothing serious.
You
just
said,
I think
you
she'll.
said Julia. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with Tiffany because Tiffany already put it out there that she would go gay
I
for
could
Jen.
see that.
Okay,
Because remember when she was doing the laundry and she's like, "Oh, will you help me or something?" Or Jen offered her help, and then Tiffany, of course, took her
I
up
could
on
see
it.
that.
And Jen was like, "Oh, I didn't think you were serious or something." And then it went from there. But pretty much Tiffany said, I would go gay for you
To go
help me."
outside.
Yeah, to go.
Yeah.
Oh, to go outside. That was
Yeah.
right. To go outside up on the. Up
She
on
wants
the
her
deck,
vitamin
so.
D.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
We'll
maybe
see.
I don't know. There might be some lucky ladies.
Yeah.
With
Maybe.
Jen,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for her.
I can't
hope
wait
so.
to see who's right and see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And next week we will have a fourth co-host, so that'll be nice, a guy,
Yes.
so we can have a
So we'll
male's
get the-
perspective.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you can comment on YouTube and give us a rating on iTunes. We love to hear how we're doing, and we love to hear what you guys think, so be sure to tweet us. Always want to hear
Yes.
what your opinions are.
Yes, would love to hear from you guys and what your predictions are. Tweet us, at what is it? #ABTV below deck. Give us your predictions or what you liked about the show. Let us know. We love to interact with you guys.
Definitely. I'm your host, Jamie Banks, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram @JamieBanks_. And where can they find you guys?
Angela Struck is my name, and you can find me on Twitter @TheAngelaStruck and on Instagram and Facebook @AngelaStruck, STRUCK.
And I'm Madison Conklin. You can find me on Twitter @Maddie Says This, 2 D's IE Says This, and then on Instagram @Conklin, CONKLYNN.
Thank you guys so much for
Thanks,
watching,
guys.
and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Get on board for next week.
Yeah.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.